Hi, my name is Iris. I hope that you are doing very well. If you are new here, welcome. This channel is all about faith-based content. So today what I'm going to be doing is just sharing a little bit of things, some things that interest me, that I enjoy or that I like to do. And hopefully, you're interested in, in these things as well. And I'm going to give you some recommendations, and hopefully you you know you go out and get them as well. So the first thing that I like to do, or that interests me, is actually read. I've loved reading. I remember ever since I was little, I've always had a book in my hand. If I wasn't outside and playing with my siblings, I was reading. And I remember I was reading Curious George, Twilight, the Harry Potter, A Boy Called It, books by Nora Roberts, romantic type of books, horror, thriller, you name it, I was reading it. But as I got older, I stopped reading a lot of horror and thriller. And I don't read any romantic books anymore, because the type of books that I would read were when the man was super toxic and the woman was so vulnerable. She thought less of herself, like she was worthless, like it was bad. But now I really like to read books that are like self-help books, and I like to read books that are based on true stories, like nonfiction. And I like to read stories and books where people's lives have been, turned around for the good, for the better. So the first book that I'm going to share is called The Purpose Driven Life, and it looks like this. And this book was gifted to me in 2015 by my best friend. And the reason she gave it to me and I was reading it was because I was going through like a really hard time, really hard season of my life. I had suicidal thoughts. I wanted to kill myself. I thought my life was worthless. I was depressed. I did not find joy in anything, like waking up the next morning. All I wanted to do was I just couldn't wait for the day to end so that I could just go back on my bed and sleep, like forget about the world. So, with the help of God, like I'm no longer in that place anymore. I want to live. I find joy in the morning. This book was one thing that helped me, because it taught me that my life is worth something, that I was created by a God who loves me, that I'm not a mistake, that those lies, those thoughts of dying, and that I'm less than and stuff like that, those thoughts do not come from God. Those thoughts come from the enemy. And what God does is God brings life, into our lives, into our situation. So I would recommend that you read this book if you're going through something like that. And I would also recommend that you reach out and find somebody who you feel comfortable with to talk to about what you're dealing with. It doesn't have to be a family member. Like for me, it was my best friend. And I would, tell you to continue praying and to continue reading your word, and speaking life, into yourself, and asking God to help you with those thoughts, to remove those thoughts, and to give you, that desire to live, and for him to help you truly believe, that you are loved, that you are not a mistake, that he has a purpose for your life. And I would also recommend that if you can, go see a counselor, go see a therapist. I didn't have the chance to, but if I was, if I were given the chance to go see a counselor or therapist, I would go and see one. And if you're not, going through anything like how I went through, then I would just recommend that you pick it up, because you're going to find, you are going to know a lot more about yourself through this book, and you're going to find out, or you're going to know a lot more about God through this book, and what he's calling us to do. I read this book like 2 times, And you know, my perspective has changed, you know. It both times it has helped me tremendously, like a great deal. So the second book that I would recommend is called Uninvited by Liza Turkers. I do not know how to pronounce her last name. So what she does through this book is she talks about her own life, her own personal experiences of you know, going through you know, feelings of rejection, being left out, lonely, and less than. And she talks about, you know, how going through because we're going through go through those type of things in our lives, right? So she helps us go through our emotions, but to not let ourselves be led by those feelings or by those thoughts, right? Because we're supposed to be living and walking with the thoughts of being loved, because we truly are, you know. And she also, through the book, she teaches us how to pray and how to pray scripture over our life, and how to truly, like, for real, it's through her own experiences. She teaches us how to really walk out our life like we are loved, like we are daughters of God, like we are not rejected, we are not left out, we are not abandoned. Those things, yeah, we go through all of these things, right? But that does not define who we are. And one of the things that spoiler alert, one of the things that caught my attention from the book is that um whenever, you know, whatever she has gone through and God has healed her from, or she's in the process of being healed, she, you know, she helps other women with what she went through or what she's going through, which is something that I would like to go through, you know, in the middle of the process of whatever I'm going through. I would like to help other women. So those are the two book recommendations. And I'm currently also listening to music, right? But I'm not the type of person that would, you know, when you're cleaning, you put music like on all the time. Like, that's not me. I do listen to music when I'm driving and stuff like that, but I don't put it on all the time, you know? So the two songs that I like so far are The Goodness by Toby Mac and Blessing Offer. And I like this song because it just teaches us to focus, or it talks, you know, about focusing on God's goodness through it all, you know, through whatever it is that you are going through. And the second song is Know You Will by Hillsong Worship. And I like this song because it talks about, you know, trusting God through every single process. You know, that even before you had a problem, even before you had a situation, like, God knew you were going to have that problem in that situation. And God has already made a way for you, you know? So yeah, those are the two things that I wanted to talk to you about, or let you know, you know, that are some of the things that I'm interested in, and hopefully you listen to that music, or, you know, pick up these two books, which I know that both of them are going to be you know, such a blessing for your life, you know. And please let me know if you have any book recommendations or any song recommendations, okay? I'm open to all of it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.